Alrighty guys, so I wanted to do a video showing a run or two, just kind of going through the 90++ over on the NA side of things, because this actually wasn't too bad when I did this on the JP side of things when the event originally came out. So I kind of wanted to show it off a little bit and just kind of give you guys a little bit of a guide on how you guys could get through this. Now, this first run is going to be revolving around Draco. I will also say if you have Summer Ibuki, she slots very easily into this slot that Morgan is in. She can do this at NP1 at least for the second wave, because the second wave of enemies are Earth Power Mod, but it does revolve around Draco being able to not only take out the first enemy, but also be able to take out the large 1.1 million Rider Da Vinci on the last node. Now, I was able to get this done on JP with an NP1 Draco, so I don't really mind that too much. But her skills were finished, and this CE right here was max limit broken, if that does matter. So for research purposes, her at skill level 1 and non-max limit broken CE does actually work if you have her at NP2, which, you know, I wasn't sure if that was going to work out, but turns out it does. So I'll just kind of show you guys how this little multi-core kind of works out. I do want to try and get this done with a Fringe Draco and maybe just trying to support her through it. So that way, if you don't have Draco, if you weren't able to pull her, you're able to get through this as well. But I at least want to show off kind of the base core going into this this farm, right, and kind of how it works. So if you have Castoria, you just kind of want to dump all of your buffs. Castoria does make this a whole lot easier because, go figure, Castoria is the queen of doing multi-core farming. So you just want to kind of pump all of your things into Draco and then get rid of that one and sub her out for the other Castoria over here. Let's go ahead and jump her buffs. Now we can just throw this on the Morgan. I thought I was kind of cooking with Morgan a little bit because of the 20% over here that you can kind of target onto somebody, and it's like, oh, if you could save the defense down for the last node, but turns out Draco does not need it. She just does enough damage anyway, especially if you're using the CE. She not only has like the event power mod thing, but the CE can actually give you that bonus damage, which you'll have people that'll be like, well, this isn't like a 6 CE way to do this, and there are ways to do this event with a full 6 CE setup. I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible for people that just want to farm the event, right? I'm just for people that want to get the event done. They're just trying to do the 90++ because it's like the most bond you're going to be able to get. You get all the little shop drops and everything. So for people that are trying to do that, this is who this is for. If you're somebody that's going to be running the max CE setup, you probably don't need these guides, right? This is probably not something that you really need. You probably already have something done. But you can see easily is able to clear that out right there, even at skill level 1. And the nice benefit for this is that Draco, because she's refunding every single turn off of her first and third skill over here, is going to be able to clear this. Now, unfortunately, you do need to pop, if you're going to be using a Morgan, you do need her to pop this right here, because even at NP5, without her attack buff, she barely does not take these guys out. I mean, she doesn't have power mod on any of these guys. They're not man attribute. They are Earth. They're unfortunately not Phase, and they are not Knights of the Round Table. So if you're going to be using her, which I might use this one, that way I can get Morgan some bond during the event, because I do also think that is somewhat valid, is that if you're going to be sacrificing a little bit of CE comp for getting extra bond on some of your characters, I think that's kind of valid. I think that's fine if you want to do that, but yeah, that is just kind of a fair warning for people that are going to be trying to use her like me. She does have bond bonus in this event, so if you're trying to do that, you will have to pop that on this one. I was really trying to get away with it, but indeed was not working out. But yeah, like realistically, this is just like, you know, you have Draco, you have an AoE serving to wipe the second wave, and then Draco herself will get over here to 100%. You could realistically sub out anybody that can do damage on this one. Anybody that you have that can wipe that second wave and that also has damage buffs is also going to be useful. More so if you're not going to be using the CE and you want to, what's it called? You want to maximize your drops, right? You want to be doing that. The nice thing, though, about this is that we saw Draco on the first wave. She only did like 600,000. So you might be thinking, well, ZTL, she's not going to be hitting anywhere near enough damage to take out this Rider Da Vinci. But thankfully, Morgan's a great servant, and it may not look like it, but she is supporting Draco in the way that she's giving her overcharge, and the overcharge for Draco is that power mod on 7 class main servants. So she's actually going to be doing a lot more damage than you would expect her to do right here. The other nice thing is that, say you're I guess your NP levels are a little bit lower. The fact that Morgan can just bomb a bunch of stars and Morgan plus Draco can do some pretty insane crits does mean that for that last one, if for whatever reason you are reliant on that, the only person that's really kind of a bozo for getting the crit stars would be Castoria. I don't think you should be in that position ever with a team comp like this, but you know, it might be something that does crop up. I guess if it's relevant for some people, depending on your box, maybe it's something that props up. But yeah, all right, that's like the first basic way to do it. Essentially, utilizing Draco, you know, go figure, the servant that comes out for the event would be really good for downing these two really big enemies. Really nice if you already have Draco, but if you don't have Draco, it can be a little bit frustrating. So the other team comp that I want to try to run is one where we try to use a friend Draco, and we essentially try to support her through the different fight. Alright, so here we're going to be trying to utilize a friend Draco, because not everybody is going to have their own Draco, but a lot of people did pull for her. So finding a Draco on the friends list is more than likely going to be something you're going to be able to do. So being able to utilize a friend Draco will probably make your life a little bit easier. I do also think that at this point, if you do have somebody on your friends list and you're like, oh, well, they have like an NP5 Draco with, say, the gold farming CE, at that point, I do think you could just use that one instead of the damage one. But I'm just trying to make this as general as possible for people that are going to try to get these clears, that just want to use this as a general guide. So we've gone ahead and we've subbed out our friend Castoria for an Oberon over here, but realistically, anybody that you can get that's going to have a plethora of damage for your Draco to do is going to be fine. Again, Morgan is going to be, you know, nothing's really going to change for her. She actually might do more damage because instead of just getting the double attack buff from the double Castorias, she's going to be getting the attack and the NP damage buff from Oberon over there. But realistically, anybody that can just give them NP and damage is going to be really, really strong for this. If the friend that you have on the list has the CE max limit broken, which they should, I've just been kind of slacking a little bit. I'm up to date on the missions, obviously, because I'm able to do the 90++, but I have not gotten my final CE drop or anything. So I'm slacking a little bit. But if they have that, you really can just use the one Castoria and kind of get through it. So we'll just do the same thing. We will go ahead and drop all of Castoria's buffs onto Draco over here, and then we will come in for Oberon. And then we will go ahead and pop Draco's buffs. The nice thing is we can get away with actually using Oberon's first skill buff. We need to have that anyway, because... Oops, sorry, my alarm is going off. But we need to have that anyway for Morgan to get up to 70% so she could pop this, because I do like to save that just in case the Draco didn't have enough. But then, so between that, we'll have a 20%, a 70%, plus, like, Draco refunding every single turn. So she'll be perfectly fine going into the final node. And this will also boost up her damage a little bit, dude. Sorry, like, ugh. Can't pronounce things this morning, dude. We're all over the place. But I've been, like, trying to make sure things work, because I was like, okay, what do I want to run for this one? And realistically, the easiest thing to do is, like, okay, well, if you got Draco, you could do this. And then if you don't have Draco, you could just use a friend Draco and make it very, very easy. Which... might be nice for some players, because usually events are like, you don't have the supports? Tough. It looks like you're cooked, buddy. But this is one where I think you can get away with using the friend Draco and being able to absolutely annihilate it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and pop the Morgan skill again. We'll let her go in there, just pop these guys out, destroy them. Draco will get the overcharge bonus from Morgan's NP, which will be very helpful because it'll overclock her power mod. This friend Draco is NP2, but like I said, Draco is such a popular servant that finding a friend that is at NP2 or higher is probably not going to be unrealistic. I do think she should be able to do this at NP1. It's a little bit more dodgy. Now, mine was able to do it at NP1. Skills were level 10, and the CE was max limit broken on JP. So I think you would have to find those conditions at the very least. Like, if you can find one that's like fully skill leveled and everything at NP1. But I guess if you want to be on the safe side, you can always look for a higher NP1. But I do want to stress that mine was able to get that done. No huss, no fuss over on JP when this event originally came out. But I still will instinctively go after the face cards, because why not? Like, what if she doesn't do enough damage? What if she only does 800,000? What if it's one of those weird scenarios where I get a super min roll? So she'll go ahead and get in there. She's going to drop them. But yeah, that is more than enough damage. 369,000 on that last hit. Yeah, we obliterated. Yeah, 1.5. Yeah, we just absolutely cooked that one. So those are some easy ways that, like, if you either have Draco or you don't have your own, but you need to find a friend one, those are two ways you can kind of get it done. Essentially, and just to go back into the team menu again, just so I can kind of show the team comp just to give people a little bit of advice and make sure that we're all clear on this one. Which, by the way, if you have any further questions, our Discord is linked down in the description down below. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I was supposed to be streaming yesterday, but literally 10 minutes into the stream, our OBS like crashed and exploded, and then my computer was like, "Sorry, bro, I'm taking a little snooze." So if you have any questions of that, stream tomorrow, and Discord down below if you have any further questions. But essentially what you need is you just need a single target servant, right, that can deal with the 2 rider enemies, right? The large Orochi enemy at the very beginning, and then you have the Da Vinci at the very end. Now, Da Vinci's a man attribute person, so, you know, go after her appropriately. You know, obviously, Morgan herself would be really good for that, but 500k guy at the very beginning and the Hydra is a little annoying for her to do, especially because that guy is, go figure, not a man, not a Fae, or not a Knight of the Round Table. So for, you know, just, I guess, stressless runs, I guess, is the right way to say that. Stressless runs, you know, taking out some of that stress of trying to get through that, I just be using the multi-core setup, right? Getting to use Draco, because she can down that pretty easily, and then she can also down the Da Vinci on the last node, and then you just have a person to clear the second wave. Again, anybody that you can really bring that has some kind of support abilities. Summer Ibuki works really well for that, because Summer Ibuki can clear it without her second skill. She can move her like targeted Buster and Arts buff, put that on Draco if she needs more damage, and she doesn't need it to clear the second wave, because again, your AoE just needs to clear one wave. So anybody you can bring that has extra support, like even Tiamat can be really good. Right, like if you want to bond up Tiamat can be really strong for that. She gives extra NP and NP damage to Draco. Like anything that you want to do with that is very, very solid, very, very strong. Although the NP damage buff, I'm pretty sure, is only for 1 turn, so I don't really know if you're going to be able to min-max that if you're using that setup. But again, just things to consider, just things that you might want to consider. I also think if you have a strong enough Tiamat, she could probably get through all 3 of these nodes, because you can just hit really, really hard. You can like overload the NP damage on the first wave and then get it back on the last one against the Da Vinci. So that is also an option. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Hopefully you guys will be able to clear this 90++ node very easily if you have your own Draco, or again, you've also seen that if you don't have a Draco, you can bring a friend and are still able to clear this relatively easy. But with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye. Alright, just real quick at the end of the video here, I actually did find my old run when I went through the rerun of this event. Couldn't find my original run where my Ibuki was only at NP1, but I did want to show this off, because this is where I had my NP1 Draco, and I used Ibuki to get through the nodes. It's very much the same thing. You drop all of Castoria's buffs onto the Ibuki. I do kind of shimmy things around a little bit, like giving the arts buffs to Draco. It's very important if you want her to clear at NP1. You can't really be given anything to Ibuki over there. For one, she doesn't really need it, because again, she has power mod on the second wave giants. So just make sure, again, that you drop all of the attack and the NP gain buffs onto Ibuki over there, so she can guarantee get to 100% of her NP. And then you can also drop the arts buffs onto Draco, so she has enough damage, is able to smack up the Hydra. Then you move into the second node over there, where Ibuki is going to be able to absolutely wipe out those guys. You can give the buff to Ibuki or Draco. I think in this gameplay, I just give it to Ibuki to make my life a little bit easier. But again, it's one of those things that if you want to give it to your Draco, because for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe your Draco's like level 70 or something, she doesn't have enough damage, you know, you just really, really need that. That is something you can do. Also, Ibuki loops well enough that if you do need it, I do also show off that you can fire the Ibuki NP right after the Draco one. Again, for whatever reason, if you're just not doing enough damage, your Draco's like level 70 and is like skill level 1111 and you need the extra damage, that is something you can do. But okay, just wanted to do that at the very end of this video over here. Thank you guys for watching, and just wanted to throw that in. All right, bye.